Thank you. Before I ask Tom to come up and speak to you, I want to just share with you, Pastor Ben asked, as you leave here today, try to find out where God is working in rebuilding. And for those of you who are members, you've been getting our newsletters and just letting you know that we're short and that we've made a commitment at the beginning of the year. And so one of our members put a check in the offering with a note last Sunday, not knowing what we planned as council. And she wrote this. And she's a widow, by the way. She wrote, "Here's something." The check was for $500. So she said, "Here's something for the budget, which looks kind of bad," the budget that is. "I truly wish I could do more, but maybe this will at least add a pittance to the deficit." I thought of the widow's mite. And I also thought, I'm good in math. So I thought if all our giving units give $500 more on average, we get to do what we said we wanted to do for God's glory. That's the miracle. Now, there are some members in our church that we support because they don't have the income. And there are some that can do a lot more than 500. But I just wanted you to know that God is working even before the council worked. Tom, tell us what the council is thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Good morning. My name is Tom Fry, for those that don't know me. My family and I have been members of Grace for about 8 years, and earlier this year I was honored to be elected to serve as your representative on council. The mission of Grace Lutheran Church, as we have defined it, is to celebrate God's gifts through worship and education, inspiring us to be the heart, hands, feet, and voice of Christ in the world. Earlier in 2017, this congregation demonstrated its continued support of that mission by approving a budget that called for enhanced and increased ministries, as well as the increased funding through our contributions necessary to support these ministries. Pastor Saeed, Pastor Ben, Pastor Leland, church staff, many of you have been busy fulfilling and delivering the ministries we set out to accomplish this year. Unfortunately, we find ourselves behind on the financial support necessary and expected to support our ministry goals. Through September, we're about $65,000 behind those expectations. I'm sure these ministries have touched each of you in many ways, whether it be here in worship on Sunday or in the wonderful music provided under the leadership of Janet Kings or in the beautiful song of the choir. Perhaps you have children in Grace Preschool, or your younger children participate in Grace Place, or your older children benefit from Genesis. Maybe you have family and friends that have received a visit from the caring team, or maybe you have participated in Bible study or one of the many other workshops available. Maybe you're a member of Opus, maybe you have supported Beds, or one of our refugee families. The ministries are numerous and are achieved only through the wonderful people who give their time and talents to lead and participate, and also through our generous gifts. As I mentioned, we are $65,000 behind budget through September. In an effort to close the current year gap in giving, we have designated Sunday, October 22nd, as Generosity Sunday, where we are asking each of us that share in the life of Grace to go beyond our normal giving on that day. In the coming days, you will be receiving a special envelope for Generosity Sunday. Please give consideration to this extra giving and participate with us on Generosity Sunday. If you are not here that day, please consider giving in advance or even online. On behalf of the council, I want to thank each of you for your participation and generosity.
Thank you, Tom.